Who said you can't go home? Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
Well, hello there, everybody. It's my turn. Brandon, I thought you were going to do the intro because you're so good at it now.
Welcome to Real Estate Exposed, the Signature Real Estate Podcast. I'm your co-host, Brandon Roberts, along here with my other co-host, Vonna Nabala, not the ghost host this week.
Yes.
Corporate broker of Signature Real Estate Group here in Las Vegas.
Also known as the Hammer.
The Hammer. And then also our other co-host, Shelly Panzarella, branch manager with Prosperity Lending.
Prosperity Lending.
Yeah, I even got that right this week.
Thank you.
It did take me a couple of days to I won't lie, a couple of weeks to remember the name of your new company.
Really? You just kept saying my old company, or you just
I
that
think
company?
No, I just made up a company name because I knew it wasn't the old company. But I couldn't remember the new one.
I keep calling it.
I know.
Saying your old company. In fact, I've been out of my old brand that I used to work with for over 7 years now, and I still say that sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I want to really point out, I got little googly eyes. We've taken away your old company. These googly eyes they've got my brand name on it. I'm excited. Don't tell anybody.
I was just going to say, why are you showcasing that? Your broker right here might actually call you out.
So that is just so that nobody can see you through your camera?
Correct.
Are you paranoid?
No, but how cool is that? No, because when sometimes you're on a Zoom call or something and you just don't want to be seen, right? But
then you
accidentally push your button to turn the camera on because that shit happens to me all the time. I get screwed up like that. Yeah.
Sounds like an issue.
Yeah.
But now you got two eyes staring at you the whole time. That would give me a complex.
She likes it.
I enjoy that though.
I was going to say, yep. That's your thing.
So remember, my mom watches. All right. So I want to start with, move the table. We moved the table.
Thanks.
Now you can
Thanks
see
for
the
noticing,
Thank
Kim.
you for noticing. Kim is amazing.
Aww, our one follower. Thank you so much.
She's our one loyal follower. I think
yes,
she
loyal.
listens to every episode.
She thinks we're funny. She likes us.
She thinks I'm funny.
She really, really
Not about
likes us.
We do pay her to think we're funny.
Okay, so this
and
one,
we could pay you too.
This one is for Kim. Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Why is the magician so good at hockey?
This is a freaking riddle?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She sent that text last night, and I'm like,
Like she's not watching the game?
Nobody responded.
Is there a hat trick coming up?
no. See, and that was the thing that I was like, it has to do with the hat trick. It has to do with the hat trick. Good job.
Good job. It's because he always has a good hat trick. Okay. That was for you, Kim. They screwed it up.
She's a big Knights fan too, Golden Knights. And
Who isn't?
They played their first game of the season last
Yes.
night.
And they whooped the Ducks' ass.
I don't know about whooped.
They won.
I mean, come on. Empty net, 5-2. Let's be
Empty
real.
net happens when they're
At the
ahead.
end. I know,
Yeah.
but like at that
the
point,
end.
at the end.
Thank you.
But
Brandon's
what's the point of that? I mean, why even bother with an empty net when you have that much of a
lead?
Because
loss?
I don't know if you
Oh.
remember, but a couple years ago in the playoffs, the Sharks beat us bad in the last end of the game, scoring a bunch of goals and took the lead, and
empty
we were
net.
killing them.
All
so,
right, fine.
so it can happen, and that's the whole
Kim
thing.
loved my joke. Okay.
It's just the last ditch effort.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
it's 'cause you
I guess
can.
that could work. I think we did something similar the first season. But anyway, so Knights are back.
I'm excited about the Knights. You
Hockey
know why?
is back because you have a new jersey.
I have a new jersey, but I have not worn gear for like how long has it been?
What does
A
that
year.
mean, gear?
A year, right?
Not quite a year.
Because
but-
I'm part of the fan club, so that's you got to gear up every season, right?
So there was a delay last year, so the playoffs happened later than they normally would.
Right.
But we would have already started the season a long
Now,
time
yeah,
ago.
in October, right? Normally,
Is that what it's
preseason
been?
is October, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not really excited about the season schedule this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
that's
going to
kinda
play
weak.
a lot of the same, or just your divisional opponents.
Oh, I got
a lot of times. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's good to have hockey back.
So the one question on that: Are they staying? Is Anaheim staying in the hotels here, or were they?
I bet they are because I think their next game is against Anaheim.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they play like 4 in a row or something.
Right. It's their pseudo Vegas bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hockey's back.
And football's almost over.
Yeah, are you sad about that?
Well, aren't the Raiders gone?
No.
No.
It was a painful season to be any fan of any team in the NFC East,
Including the Cowboys?
especially the Cowboys.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about the Raiders? Did they do okay?
Down.
No, they started good, but they finished very poorly.
Ah.
But, maybe next year. See, that's the saying every year at the end of the football season. There's always next year.
Yeah.
I'm getting
It
used
just
to that.
keeps going on and on. Yeah.
So, and then there's another sport, Beta calls it a sport. I'm not sure.
Skateboarding? It's going to be in the Olympics.
Skateboarding would be more exciting than
what would Beta's
basketball.
sport be?
Basketball.
Basketball.
'Cause he's that tall.
So what are you, a Lakers fan?
Boo.
Come on.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller, right? Also not this baller. You're welcome, all of you.
What are we doing?
All right. So I did my joke. We did.
Where's our agenda today, Brandon?
That's a wrap.
What are you doing? That?
Okay, so we talked about it before we started, but I really do want to talk about it again. Biden's tax plan. I don't want to talk about the entire tax plan. Oh, you came prepped. No, I don't want to talk about the whole thing. Just talk to me about the 1031 exchange portion. Because that's the only one that really breakdancing. Yes, Kim. So what really matters on the 1031 exchange portion is that, so as of right now, you can purchase a home, have it as an investment, and then you can, after a year or two or whatever, you can sell that property. And if you have any equity in it, pay attention to me, Shelly.
I'm making sure we're posting on my feed is sharing on live. I'm sorry that I've shared Real Estate Exposed on my feed.
We need to get up past just Kim watching.
Although we really do love having Kim watch us.
Yes.
So where was I? Oh, so 1031, you can purchase a home, you can sell it, and then if there's any equity in it, you can take that equity, so you don't have to pay capital gains, and you can exchange it into a new like-kind property. Okay. And what it does is it defers your taxes on those gains.
Because you never touch the money.
Because you never touch the money, right? An exchange company touches it, so on and so forth. So Biden's tax plan is looking at taking that away, which is kind of a big deal. Ooh. I know. So let's just say you have a property, though, and
I do have a property.
Okay, so you have a rental property, right? And I'm not giving any legal advice, accounting advice. You should go consult, blah, 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 all of those things. I remember doing this when I first had my first rental property, is that we had a rental property. We were ready to exchange it, decided that it didn't make sense to exchange it, moved into it, converted it into a personal property, and now the capital gains tax on that, there's an exemption. If you're single, it's $250,000 if you've lived in it for the last 2 out of 5 years, and then the exemption if you're married is $500,000 if you've lived in it the last 2 out of the 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that was something that we had done originally, like on a rental property. So that might be a way to get out of it if you miss this, and I don't know if it's going to affect it till the end of the year. Like if you have till the end of the year to sell or exchange in order not to pay the taxes on that gains.
I don't think it's been passed.
Right.
It hasn't.
So it's just a proposal.
Right. Right.
We'll
and I wonder how long that takes, right?
Right.
Who
So
knows?
So the capital gains tax comes in on an investment property, right? So your personal residence, if you live in it 2 out of the last 5 years, you're supposed to be able to sell it and not pay capital gains
on
tax
it, right.
on it. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes. I mean, and there probably needs to be because we have to pay the price, right, for all the money that we're shelling out to get through this pandemic and stuff. But I think we're going to see some significant tax changes.
Well, it's meant to, if this gets passed, it's meant to help our economy by trillions of dollars in taxes, is what the theory is.
Because there's that much going on?
Well,
because of the housing.
Wait a minute. So I'm confused on how that helps the economy.
Right.
Because the economy goes by
I
more
agree.
money being put into the economy, right? This would be pulling it out to pay our debt, basically. Right. So anytime you give tax credits, that's generally designed to spur the economy.
Right.
Like
He's
2
doing
years back, we had you had tax credits or incentives for buying cars. We've had it for houses.
He's proposing that as well. There's a $15,000 tax credit again for first-time home buyers,
and that would stimulate it. But again, that would be really tough in our market today unless things change, because there's really not a lot of houses for a first-time home buyer at this point to even select from. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, there are. They just are
maybe
in
not in
competition with a ton of people. That's
Right.
unfortunate
So-
circumstance.
Yeah.
but if we create more demand of first-time home buyers, we don't have the market to sustain it right now. It
Housing
doesn't mean
market.
it won't be different in 2-3 months, but
Right.
So it was interesting, though, to see in our sales meeting this week that there was the most amount of sales that happened was in that $250,000 range, right? 250 to 300, was it, or 350?
yes.
Okay, thanks, Brandon.
I think it was
Anybody?
250, 350,
Anybody?
354, 450, 4 to 5.
Bueller. So, what's the new FHA limit?
362, 250.
So if you just hit above that 350, we're not selling as many of those homes, right? Which means there's not as much competition in that price point. Maybe that's the way to do it, is just in that 350 to 362 range.
But that still falls because we don't have the inventory even in that thing.
Right.
Can you stop telling me that I'm wrong?
I'm just telling you. I mean, I'm looking.
Where did you come from? Where's my Brandon?
He's got the
Bring him
tables
back.
are turned, guys. The tables have turned.
I'm just saying.
Literally.
What did Dave Brunel call it? The market's ablaze and there's no fuel.
You're running out of gas.
Yeah.
That's so true. So this is a time to sell.
Yeah, if you don't need to go someplace else.
Right?
Right.
You know.
And if you have to do an exchange, or if you
But
have
it's not
to-
out there yet. It's proposed.
It's proposed. But
Even
does
the
it mean
housing
that we
bill's
sh-
proposed. Even they've got the $10,000 student loan forgiveness that he's proposing that's supposed to stimulate the housing as well, so it'll help more first-time home buyers be able to afford.
Wait. Go back. Student loan what?
He's proposing a $10,000 student loan forgiveness. So
How do you apply for that?
I don't, and he's saying that'll help help with $100 worth of debt for qualifying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's interested in
I know.
student
All of a sudden,
loan.
1031 exchanges.
I don't have
no
anything
longer.
to flip an investment right now, so that doesn't matter. But no, the 1031's a lot of times up on the chopping block, so to speak, because almost every time we go to Washington for the NAR mid-year, that's one of the talking points when we meet with our Congress people.
To keep it.
Is how important that is to our economy.
Uh-huh.
Because here's the thing: if it's going to cost you a ton of money in taxes as an investor, right? You own a commercial building or something like that, you're less likely to roll that over and stimulate that
to
economy
keep
and
going.
growth, right?
Got it.
And when you sell property, I mean that stimulates the economy because people are putting more money in the properties, and there's a lot of things that go around that with remodeling and everything else. A lot of money is spent when a property is sold.
I get that. I get that now.
So there's a big importance for it to stay, and I see it might bring some money, but I don't really anticipate it would bring a lot because a lot of people wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
Or prices would have to go up to cover those taxes.
Or they'd live in all 15 of their homes at some point.
Yeah, but it's
It goes
It would
away
just convert.
after
It's
2
2
years.
years. 2 years.
It's not
2
all
years.
about just. It's
Yeah.
not all about residential. It is about the
Commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So speaking of record sales, I know you didn't say that, but here we are. One of the largest MLSs just announced record-setting sales last year for 2020.
Oh, I saw that.
And it wasn't us.
Yeah.
I thought we were one of the largest, but we're not.
We are one of the largest.
We're one of the top 10, right? But we didn't have apparently.
We're one of the smallest
we
of the
didn't-
largest.
We're we didn't have
the biggest little city.
record-setting
The biggest little
sales.
MLS in the States.
Biggest
Yeah.
little MLS.
So the Midwest Real Estate Data, one of the nation's largest multiple listing services, covering much of Illinois and parts of Wisconsin and Indiana. That's a lot of places. Announced 2020 was a record year in sales for its subscribers. Agents through MRED's marketplace conducted more than $43 billion of business in 2020, the
Crazy.
most since they were founded in 2008.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of homes. What's the average sales price of homes in Illinois? I know you're going to ask me because I have it in front of me, but I don't. I think I'd have to look it up. I was just wondering. Okay, I got it.
Should I Google that?
I think I got it. Hold on. Let me just go back. I got to go back to the. Okay. Other MLSs across the country are still tallying their 2020 numbers, but are poised to report escalated sales for 2022. No, for 2020. Too, like TOO as well.
Also,
yeah, that was a very horribly written
also.
for announcement. For example, the MLS of the Houston Association of Realtors, which services 40,000 realtors, reported home selling at a record-setting pace toward the end of the year. In November, the Houston MLS reported a 25.6% increase year over year in a single-family home sales, with home prices at $750,000 or higher, jumping 88.4% annually in sales.
And you're right. We are nowhere near the largest.
No.
40,000?
40,000. Can you imagine that? There was a time where we had, I want to say 30,000 back
Vegas?
in 2008.
In Vegas?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Do you remember the builders were building? I was going to say that on the on that sales meeting. So
but you didn't, so,
I didn't. Yeah.
You
So
saved it for here.
Right. So 2004, I was part of a builder, large home builder, and their goal was 10,000 homes. And they were one of the mega fours here in Vegas. So them to be building and to close that amount of homes in 1 year.
Right. But I think, weren't you talking about 40,000 members?
Yeah. Oh, members. I'm sorry. Sales.
And so I can't.
What show am I on?
But
apparently
members,
you're not paying attention.
I'm not. Sorry. I'm gonna pay
You're saying our board used to be twice the size?
I want to say, yeah, because back in 2008, 2009, there was a ton of people that were in the marketplace at that time. Yeah. Because what else were they going to do? They were losing their homes. They lost their jobs. They were trying to figure out.
Everybody was trying to get it was like everybody came in to be a lender and a realtor because it was easy to do. Your cocktail
I became
waitresses,
a realtor and a lender, and then I decided lending was not for me.
Had to do math.
Yeah, there's a lot of math.
Sucks.
Math is not good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, currently we have like just over 14,000.
Yeah, which is actually
it's a good size board.
It's a good size board. We used to have 8 to 9. There was 12 2 years ago, right? So it's not bad.
No.
People are coming in the business. People are going out of the business. That's just kind of like what happens. It is what it is.
How many do you think of those are full-time agents of the 14,000?
14,001. Well, they're licensed full-time.
So let's also remember, we also have 28,000-ish licensees.
Oh, okay.
Right? So not all of those are members of the association.
Well,
Got it.
And some are members of the
with the capital R,
the associations up north, because we're just talking about Las Vegas. Do you know how many are in the state?
I could find out. Do you need
that?
Do you
I'm
need
pretty
that
sure we have
right
some
now?
information. Yeah, don't we have some contacts?
That means you guys have to run the show for a minute.
What? We're doing stats?
No.
Doing starts?
Oh shit! I forgot about stats. We should probably do stats. The only way for me to find out the number of licensees is for me to download the open house from the Nevada Real Estate Division's website. That takes me a minute, but it's...
Well, let's do this. You do stats and I'll phone a friend.
Ooh.
Who's the friend that you're going to phone?
Maybe the past president.
All right, I got it.
Nevada Realtors.
I got it.
Could
okay, so Clark County currently has... salespersons, all right, so totals 18,862 just in Clark County. The total for the entire state, 25,246. And then, of course, there's broken down. Yeah, 25,246 in the entire state of Nevada. I know you only think that the state of Nevada has Vegas, but there's more. So there are 18,862 of those are here in Clark County. And then
7 in
what's the other
Northern
county that you want?
Washoe.
Washoe has 3,462. What else?
Is Carson?
Lincoln.
Nye has 193.
Where's Nye? Pahrump?
No idea. Lincoln has 7.
Yeah,
What's in Lincoln?
It's
Elko. Is Elko a county?
Elko is a county. 148.
Wow.
What else you need? Your phone a friend is lame. Who's your friend?
Well, I started with somebody coming up in the ranks, but
with you?
No.
But they're still sleeping. Oh, they're watching our show actually.
Now I'm gonna phone somebody going out of the ranks.
Thomas.
No, Thomas is coming up.
Vegas.
Oh, he's coming up in the state.
And then Chris is going down.
Chris is going. Yeah, well, it's
on
okay.
his way out.
You don't need them. I just gave you the answers.
No, you didn't. You gave me the number of total licensees. You didn't give me the number of members.
Yeah, I don't care about the members.
I do.
What's the difference?
It was 14,000 last month during the treasurer's report because I pay attention to that shit.
So what's the total number of agents in the state?
Oh, in the state.
Total number of licensees in the state.
I just told you that.
Which is
25,246.
So remember that, because I'm going to find out how many
No,
total or part of Nevada Association of Realtors.
Oh, got it. So that, by the way, is those are the active ones. The inactive ones, there's 3,296. I don't know how you can be inactive in the state as a licensee. Either
you're on or you're out.
Until your license, you can go inactive
so
for 1 year.
So they're like expiration. Oh, got it. Okay.
Basically 1 year you can have your license parked.
So about 28,500, 600-ish or whatever, right? Shelly, do you want your coffee?
Negative, ghostwriter.
But Kim, if you want to come in here and
Kim,
say
yes,
hi.
please. Kim,
That's
yes,
for
please.
the donuts are for the office. The matcha green tea is for my daughter who's sitting in my office.
You know,
This is awesome.
We should get Kim to come in.
Kim, come in here.
Our one fan, she should come in. Oh, so there's 45.
There's 45 what?
I don't know.
What is he
Total
saying?
45.
Oh, I love that we can see your text messages on
Tom,
the screen.
you need to be on.
I don't like that.
We moved. We moved our table.
We're going to have to work on that.
So we moved the table, and by we, it
That's
had nothing to do
hilarious.
with me, by the way. The table was moved so that we could actually remember we used to have the screen in the back that Beta used to screw up all the time. So
What?
we can now
Why you always
see
gotta
the
call him
screen
out?
because we love him. So now we can actually see the screen. We can see all the comments. We can see what we look like. We can,
It's very distracting, to be very honest with you.
and we can also see Brandon's text messages. So all sorts of good
Only
stuff,
only
which
the
is
ones
great.
that come in from iPhone.
Yeah, from your iPhone.
From iPhone. 'Cause
So
it's on
if
the-
you're listening, text Brandon right now and tell him something really juicy.
Juicy. Because we're on Real Estate Exposed.
'Cause
And
we
that's what this is all about.
we will
The
expose it.
juiciness of real estate.
We will 100% expose it.
You don't need to worry. There's not a lot of
He's
listeners.
like, and that's it. Nobody's texting
By the
me.
time everyone listens to this, we'll be off the air. So it'll be good.
Aw.
Sad.
That's all right.
Okay, so homeownership, by the way, is still way more affordable than renting a property. Did you guys know that?
I believe it.
In most counties.
How about this
Yes.
county? Clark?
I don't know. It wasn't
Lincoln.
on the list.
How about Lincoln?
So-
7.
The study pinpoints some of the following areas where it's most affordable to buy than it is to rent. St. Louis County. I think that's Missouri, right? St. Louis, Missouri. Pinellas County, which is Tampa, Florida.
Pinellas.
Milwaukee County, which is Wisconsin. Okay. Marion County, Indianapolis, which is Indianapolis. What is it? You don't know either.
We probably should do some research before
Shelby
we actually
County?
jump on this.
Shelby County in Memphis, Tennessee. Do you know how to spell
That's it.
Mississippi?
That's in Tennessee.
M-I.
Huh?
Can you
That's
say
it.
that?
I
Memphis
just
is
said
in
that.
Tennessee.
Yeah. I just said that though. I knew that.
On the
one.
other side of the state from Nashville.
Lordy,
Nashville,
lordy,
yes.
lordy.
I don't know if it's really on the
We've
other
been
side
to Nashville. Remember when we went to Nashville
I love
for the
Nashville.
Yeah, it was great. It was lots of fun.
What did you guys go there for?
A convention for a company we don't work for
Oh.
anymore.
of the state. Went there quite a few times. Oh, 26,000, including Chris and I.
Thanks, Thomas. 26,000 licensees. That's not how many
No,
members are on the
no.
board.
Are they
There
active?
There are 24 from LDR, 26,000, including Chris and I.
That's
I
cool.
don't know what that means. Okay.
So yeah, so there's most of the people are part of the association is what I'm gathering, but I don't think Tom really knows.
I don't think that's true.
You just ask him and then you call him out like that.
Yeah.
Well, he's not listening, so we're okay.
Sorry, Tom.
Well, I will tell you that
'Cause
Kim does
there's
have
two
it in the
people
main-
listening, you and Kim, or
Watching?
Beta and Kim. Yeah, so we're good.
Oh.
Well, Kim is actually puts it on to them in the main office.
So everybody's watching.
There's like 10 people there.
They just can't
It's
respond
just one.
because for them to figure out where the iPad notepad is, they can't type in there. All right, let's do stats.
Oh, that's right. Okay, hold on. I forgot about that part of the show because I got wrapped up in my really good joke.
Hat trick.
Hat trick. You got it. I can't believe you got it.
I
I sent it to Valerie.
daughter actually
She was
told
like,
me.
"Are you drunk?" Oh, she did.
No.
She-
Yes.
she goes,
That's very distracting to look at myself because now I'm looking sideways instead of straight at the
Stop
camera.
looking at yourself. Look at me. Look at me. Look over here. You're fine. All right, you guys, let's do stats really quickly.
Thank you.
So we have brand new listings 741, which is up from last week, but
Mhm.
does it really matter? Yes. That
That's
was a
actually
trick.
slow
That was
pace,
a trick
right?
question.
Because it was like
was.
$6.99 last. That
People
means
are gearing up again.
To sell their homes?
Yeah.
Or to list them?
Beta, screw off.
So Brandon's analogy of the fact that there's not a lot of listings is because all the realtors took a holiday.
Yes.
Literally took a holiday.
And it takes them time to get back into the game.
All right.
Because once you take time off, let's be real, right? Once you take time off officially, it's really hard to get remotivated, especially after 2 weeks. I mean, have you watched our kids try to get back to school?
I know. Yeah, they're still working on that, and it's half the year.
Yeah. Well, first of all, they have like 3 holidays this month. They're out of school more than they're in school.
It's like
this
our
month.
Employees, man. We just got asked if MLK Day's off. I'm like, another 3-day weekend? Come on, President's Day next month.
What you got against MLK?
I'm saying every single holiday. Gosh.
Yeah,
Profile.
what's your problem?
Do we have MLK off?
What?
Brandon's afraid to answer. Kim wants to know. She asked on my cell phone.
I don't even.
Which is apparently not.
I
there.
usually know the holidays coming up right the day before the holiday. I need to do better. Planning.
After your staff has been like, oh, by the way, we're off tomorrow. Why are you coming to the office? You're like, what are you off for?
Why do we have another meeting?
Back
to stats.
you guys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
New listing 741, sold 816 in the last 7 days. The withdrawns have gone down quite a bit, like 116-ish or whatever. But was that what we were looking at last time or no? Do you guys remember? No, we were looking at homes that were temporarily taken off the market. Expired. 74 this time. Thank you for paying attention to me.
Yep.
That's down a hell of a lot. Because everything expires at the end of the year.
That was last week, though.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, those of you who are in real estate, maybe you should set your expiration dates, I don't know, in January. Huh?
Brandon said he would do it in the mid-month.
Yeah.
In the mid-month.
Just don't let them expire.
Or get them sold. There's a concept.
Get them sold. Because the market is hot, you guys.
I'll tell you, if I was an agent today, I'd be going door to door.
Okay, so I was talking with an agent yesterday.
We're not done with our little...
Okay, let me write this down so I don't forget.
That way we could get the stats up, and then we have more to talk about.
What was the highest priced home that sold?
3.2.
6.5.
So you do say 3.2 every time.
Oh my gosh.
I never noticed it. No.
Do you want me to switch that up this year?
No, 5.1. It was 5.1, and it was in Crystal Ridge.
Where's Crystal Ridge?
Ascaya.
Finally. 5.1.
5.1 in Ascaya.
Ascaya is the near
so beautiful
McDonald
up there.
Highway.
I love it up there.
Yeah?
So I guess
5.1.
Yeah. I love it up there in the sense it's beautiful from the views and whatnot, but yeah.
Do you think the views are better there or like Reverence?
No.
Or Summerlin?
It depends on where you're.
It's a different view. I know.
It is a different view. I mean, it's kind of the same, but it's a different view.
Sunrise Mountain.
You think Sunrise Mountain has the best
views.
view? Do they?
Well, once you're up there, it has a great view.
So I would probably venture to guess that Ascaya has better views than Reverence.
Really?
Yes.
What about then? What is it of Summerlin area? The Vistas? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, but if Vistas won't have a better view than Reverence.
They don't really have a view, do they?
They don't?
No, they're on top of each other. The houses are like this.
Ah, got it.
All you're looking at is the view of your neighbor taking a shower.
So Henderson takes a win.
It could be a good view.
It could be a good view, depending on your neighbor.
Exposed.
All
right.
That's it. Done for stats. Go ahead. Finish start your story that you were.
Oh, frick! I forgot to write it down. What were we talking about?
Stats.
Door knocking. Oh, so I was chatting with. You're saying go door knocking. So I was talking with an agent who has. There's a lot of buyers on the market, right? But they can't get into a home. So take your buyer and literally take that person and just door knock to see if they can get a home, right? Can't you do that?
You could.
I mean, not literally take
buyer?
the buyer, but you take your buyer profile, go out there,
Correct.
and have them go basically door knock to find a home for these buyers.
That's exactly what I would do. Because you've got a buyer. You can't find them a house. Mm-hmm. You know what they want. You know the area they want. So why not go knock the doors?
Right. We used to put that in as fake marketing before. Like, I got a buyer.
Well,
and I really have a buyer.
Here's the good thing. You've got walking farms that'll tell you exactly what the floor plans are of each property. So you can knock the doors that make sense for your client. You don't have to knock the entire neighborhood, right?
But why wouldn't you?
I mean, you could, but if you're going to do it specific for your client, I mean, you could knock the entire neighborhood.
You need listings. We need inventory. So I think we just need to get out there and start talking to people. There are people that want to sell or haven't thought about it, but by a conversation, they might see the value in actually doing it and in changing homes.
Or maybe even if they really if somebody came to me and offered me a really good number for my house, I would leave my husband and all of his cars there, and then we'd sell. Just kidding. I would
that
sell.
Number?
So what does it? Yeah. Do you end up
$2 million
for your husband and his cars?
No, he'd
And
have
the
to come with
house.
me too, but the house for sure.
We'll throw
Swing
in
by
the
a
house.
bigger- I'm just kidding. He listens.
She would take him too, but he's not going to leave the cars behind.
No, because we'd have to buy a new house with multiple garages.
I found you houses with multiple garages.
I know, but they were too expensive.
She was out door knocking yesterday.
That'll be our mission.
Yeah.
By the end of the year.
Door knocking. It's cool. I think it's great. I think people should do it more often.
The weather?
It's perfect now.
Yeah.
I mean, we are actually getting people to come in, like the solar guys. We've had.
Dude, even if the weather was horrible and it was raining, can you imagine if somebody came to your door soaking wet? Listen, I have a buyer for your home. Would you be like, wouldn't you take them a little bit more serious because they're out there in the middle of the rain?
Or I think they were homeless. Or I'm not sure.
So the buyer you have must be you.
Exactly.
And you're looking to pay what? Nothing? Got it.
Come on in.
I just want a room.
Come on in.
I just want a room. No, but seriously, like even if the weather was horrible and somebody came to your door like soaking wet, like, look, I really need a house for one of my buyers. We're having a hard time. Like I would be like, dude, props to you. I'm gonna go door knocking with you. Let's do it.
You'd be like, would it be part of my team? Because I got these googly eyes and they're pretty awesome.
Let's get your buyer out of the rain. I'll also go stand out there for a while.
Exactly.
So that's not what door knocking is really then, huh? You just
go, hey, my name's Brandon with Signature Real Estate. I'm out working the area. I've got a buyer looking to buy in this market. It's very hard to find a listing. And I was just curious, when do you plan on moving?
Wow, that just
How long
rolled
have you
off
lived at
of
this
your
address?
That's
tongue,
called
like,
script practice.
Gosh, have you been in the industry a while?
I don't plan on moving,
Couple
Brandon.
days.
Couple days. 150 steps to being a millionaire.
Because the first time that you ask them, they don't plan on moving. Even if they plan on moving, they don't plan on moving the first time.
Reflex, no.
Right?
Yeah.
And then,
Sales 101.
And then?
Uh,
and then?
And then?
And then I shut the door on you.
No, and then? No, and then?
You can't because the second you open the door, I put my foot in the door so you can't close it. I go, I got meat.
Thank you.
By the way, Alex Zinnig tactics right here.
I got meat. I got meat. $2 a steak out in the truck. You want to see him? I'll go get him. Haven't you ever had a door-to-door meat sales guy come in? Yeah, that's what they do. That's their script.
I don't open my door for
what's a
weird
Door
people.
opens, stick your foot in the door, and you say, I got meat in the truck. $2 a steak. Want to see him? I'll go get him.
No way.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Come to my door. Here's my address.
I'll give you another.
You are not going
trick.
to eat meat out of somebody's truck.
My
for
husband
They're
would.
frozen. They're frozen. It's like
I don't give a crap.
Omaha
like
steaks?
Swanson's or whatever.
Oh,
No.
very cool.
So,
Beta agrees.
The crap that we used to do back in the days before we had coronavirus.
here's another secret because a lot of times you'll knock on a door, right? And I've knocked on a door. I don't know if you two have.
I have. I've
But-
knocked on
but-
doors with
Yeah,
you.
But you'll
with the rain here.
You'll hear rustling in the house, but nobody comes to the door, right? So what do? You step back, you look at the window, and you wave. Because you know what?
They're looking?
peeking out the window, and then they're like, "Oh shoot, he sees me."
But nowadays, everybody's got these ring doorbells.
Wave
Jinx.
at it.
Yeah, you're like, buy me a beer, huh?
Yeah. What you should do is walk up to the house with a package so then they think they're getting a package.
What you should
And really, it's
Like an Amazon package.
yes.
This is how you do
Box
it.
of flyers.
This is
Okay,
how you
we're
do
not.
it.
By the way,
Can
this
we
is
do a
deceptive
show
practice.
just on?
You have Beta dress up in a UPS outfit, and he runs up and he puts a package down, and then you run up like you're going to take it and see how fast they open the door.
Can we do this next show, please? Because I just could totally see
Ring
this.
the doorbell. You have to ring the doorbell before just to make sure that they're not home, and then you just go grab it and be like, "Hi."
I'm your local realtor.
I was just going to protect this for you.
Yeah, I was gonna pick it up off the ground to give
Here's
it to
my
you.
card.
Yeah.
Are you looking at seller
It
buyer?
would be an empty box. You're not really taking anything. I don't
Sure.
condone that.
Yeah. I don't represent it. What was your little fine print about 1031's
Blah, blah, blah.
exchange?
Oh, I'm not a. I'm not
You're not a
licensed.
I'm not a licensed financial advisor.
Nor do I play one on this show.
Not a licensed realtor.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I taught a class yesterday, a CE class with another. So I'm part of faculty now at the association.
Yay!
And so I've officially been voted in, which is a good thing because I'm vice chair. And so, thanks, Brandon.
Good.
But one of the
you voted her in?
I'm not.
You
No.
volunteered her? Oh,
Yeah. Well, okay. So we don't need to get into that.
okay.
So
It's a sore subject for a lot of people.
Yeah, not me. So I'm on faculty now and I'm teaching. So one of the requirements is that you co-teach like 8 classes and within a year that you've been voted in. So you have to teach 8 classes first to get voted in. Then you have to teach another 8 classes to be a senior instructor, right? But you have to wait a year before you can do that or something like that. I don't know. The rules keep changing or I don't know them that well, so it doesn't matter. So I'm co-teaching now with a bunch of different teachers, and it's been very interesting. Like everybody's so different in their techniques. Ooh, Chris is sending you a message. It changes every year, 45 to 46. Chris, you're so off.
Yeah, members of NVR, not the state.
Yeah, but if they're a member of NVR, they have to be licensed.
Right.
Okay, so we already
there's
determined that there's
23,000.
only like 30,000.
We're gonna hit the side
Yeah,
rails here soon.
But
I'm
he's not.
just
He's
feeling
just
it.
saying there's 45 or 46.
Like
Why
people just not
Yeah.
K.
Individual people
Not 45K or 46K.
I don't know.
actively working.
Let's go back to options here. Let's just close that.
Okay.
All right, back to you.
So does it show up on our
No.
Facebook
No.
feed? No,
Mm-mm.
just here.
Just-
This
yeah.
is great.
Just that
I
little
love
screen.
this.
Yeah.
I love this. Look at all the likes we have. We have all these thumbs up.
It's all
I don't
beta.
like the
Ew,
number.
They're all Kim's.
I don't like the number 13. So can you more people like it, please, so that it can
Beta.
be off?
There it goes. Oh.
Yes. Thank
Ooh,
you,
look, we got an extra
guys.
3
Thank
from
you.
our 4
So
viewers.
yeah, so I've been teaching, and it's interesting because there's some teachers that are like by the book and they'll do every slide word for word, right? And then there's some who are just like, I'm throwing the slides away. We're just gonna talk, right? And we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about how specifically this category, whatever we're teaching that day. Brandon, pay attention to me. What is wrong with you guys? Every time I talk, you pull up your phones.
Because we're trying to get ready for the next topic.
No, yeah.
Be able to answer your questions.
Yeah.
I'm done talking.
No.
No,
I'm
they read the
listening.
slides. They just throw them out.
Yes.
whatever.
Which instructor are you? Are you the
I'm a combo.
Oh, there's a hybrid.
There's a hybrid.
So
I'm
there's
the
3.
hybrid. So also,
I'd say
well, I'm a
too.
hybrid, but I also, I feel like I go to the book because I want to make sure I cover the material, which is required.
You have
by
to, right?
Nevada
Yeah,
law.
see?
And then I do a lot of conversations about, well, here's real life. This is what's happening today.
Storytelling.
Let's talk about it. And so it's really interesting to hear like some of the stories. I taught with David Berg yesterday. Have you ever met him?
David.
He's
Berg.
fascinating. He has.
I know a David Berg in Florida.
He's here.
It's actually Spencer's brother-in-law.
Yep, not
His
him.
name is David
Yeah,
Berg.
he
Probably not.
is, yes.
But he had
He
some of the
probably
most
wasn't teaching the
fascinating
real estate stuff,
stories
though.
about real estate that I have heard. And he's just, I mean, he was just sort of like, look, I'm just gonna teach off the cusp and we'll just do whatever. I'm like, okay. So then I go into the timeline and I'm like, all right, so I'll cover this and I'll cover this. So I started covering it. Then he sends me a private message, and he's like, you need to stop. Like, what happened? He's like, well, you're over time. You got to watch your time. I'm like, okay. So I stopped, and then he starts talking about stuff that's not on the syllabus. So it was funny, but it was funny.
You were over your time.
I was over my time.
So he was
Apparently,
timing you.
No
I
more
got it.
talking for
Well,
me is what I heard.
He had to have more
That's
time
very
for
funny.
him.
Do we have one of those?
A timer?
Yeah, Shelly, you've been talking too much.
It's Janet.
Janet's
Janet's our timekeeper.
And Tony.
Yes. Well, Shelly had to go up and talk for 10 minutes, so I only got 2 seconds to speak.
All right. So you
Love you, Janet.
are the new president-elect for the association for this year. Your first meeting is next week?
Yeah, executive is next week, but my first meeting is today.
Your first meeting?
I'm
Like,
sitting
what do you
down
mean?
with Aldo, our president, and Wendy, our CEO. Just having
Ah.
To prepare for next year or to
to next year, no, to prepare for
this year.
executive or to go
Oh.
over that and make sure we got the agenda set, I guess. So I'm excited about that because, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, just because. You're excited about that.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
And then, so your first executive meeting is next week, and then the week after is your first actual board of directors meeting, which you are going to be running the.
That's an interesting thing. So.
That's weird. Aldo wants control. That's awkward.
We'll see how. Stop. We'll see how that goes, because actually it changed this year because Tom, I hope you're listening, he wanted control. Tom ran the meetings as president. He didn't pass the gavel. So I always thought,
there's actually a gavel in there?
Yes, there's an actual gavel, and so it gets passed usually to the president-elect, who handles all of the motions.
Yeah, and I'm good either way. I don't really need to be there. The nice thing about not having the gavel, whoever's running the meeting, calling on people to answer the questions.
Got it.
They're in charge of like making sure that people get heard.
Got it.
Or don't get heard.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
But they don't get a vote.
Correct.
So if you don't have the gavel, you don't get it.
If you have the gavel, you don't get to vote. Yeah.
So your preference is to have a vote rather than have the gavel.
I don't really care.
But you can still talk about.
You can talk.
Yeah.
And I support. And you could always pass the gavel, but I'm good. I'll support however.
Is this gavel like a hot potato type thing, or is it like a cool thing to have? It's so exciting and interesting. I had no idea that it's like that in there.
Have you not watched any of the board meetings?
I don't think I've ever been invited.
You haven't been.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, okay, so the next one we'll put it in the main room, and you can watch it.
Okay.
Which I did.
You can't do that.
Why?
You'll get fined, because part of the disclosure when you sign up for that thing is that you're not supposed to share your link.
I didn't share my link. I'm watching it.
Stop it.
Exposed.
But I'm watching it.
We got massive amount of listeners here. We just got another one. Masako's on. So.
Oh, hi. Thanks, Masako.
So you be careful on what you say.
All right.
Your time is up.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want the board of directors
Stop talking.
I wouldn't want the board of directors to fine me or whatever.
Well,
yeah.
No, but it's not that exciting.
I got it. I can live through you guys vicariously. It's exciting to know that you guys hot potato a gavel.
It would be just like any other board you've been on. You've been on ARIA and stuff like that.
We did not have a gavel.
They may not have actually had a physical gavel, but you had somebody.
We had no order in our. We made that board up.
We pretended. Where's it at now? Still in pretend.
You know, every time we talk about ARIA, we were part of that board, and Tom Blanchard.
Yeah,
he was like our what was he? He was a political
Your
committee.
Mascot?
He was our token. Him and Darren were our token.
Yeah, Darren
guys.
would be a good mascot too.
Token guys, tall guys.
Tall guys. Yes, with blonde hair.
And Larry.
He did not have. Yeah,
Short guy.
In the Asian Real Estate Association.
Yeah. Non-Asians. They were our token non-Asians.
My time is up.
That's okay. I was on the women's council board, and I'm not a woman.
Not only were you on the women's council board, my friend, but you were the president of the women's
That's
council
right.
of Realtors.
That's how I got to know Brandon.
And they still survived.
We had to. What do they call that?
Dude, that was the best year ever. I mean, I also wasn't involved because I hated them.
That was the best.
He's like,
year.
we couldn't get you to come out. What are you talking about?
So,
funny
story.
I got involved because of her.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when people voluntold you?
Tell us more.
And then she bailed.
I was like, you should totally run for president.
Situation.
I'm going to tell you. Actually, I didn't have to run for president.
You wanted to.
There was a vacancy, and I kind of got appointed into it. But I got a full year. I was treasurer before that. I did run for that.
They hated me, so there was no way that I was getting in.
But I'm going to tell
you,
they
still hate me.
There was two women that helped me through that. I'll say three because Vanna kicked me into it. But Valerie, helped me. Grijalva, we've had her on the show. She helped me immensely. She planned every event, set that stuff up for all of them. And Phyllis Duran.
I remember Phyllis. I love her.
She was a past president, and she helped me immensely. So
yeah,
I know she's.
So
not
when
listening,
she listens to this replay,
thank you, Phyllis. We'll tag you.
we love Phyllis and Valerie.
Valerie, yes.
Yep, we sure do.
So,
I had a really interesting.
I did get a gavel.
You did. You guys had. Oh, so you guys really had the Robert's Rule of Orders in that.
That's good.
Okay, so that's you're talking about two separate things.
That totally
Roberts.
That's funny. That's
different book, but
yes.
Do you have a book? Are you writing one?
It's called the Signature Real Estate Policies and Procedures.
No, he didn't write that.
It's still being written.
I'm rewriting.
We're still rewriting that.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Over and over again. So a big thing that's happening now is that people are starting to get the vaccine.
Yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't want to get into the politics of it.
No. About you personally.
I'm not talking about it. And then...
Well, then why'd you bring it up?
Because...
Your time is up. So...
Because sellers are being more cautious now because of COVID. And so there's an article about it in Realtor.com. That's why. Brandon, you sent it to me.
What does the vaccine have to do with it?
It's not the vaccine. I was just talking about the vaccine. Just saying that there was a vaccine, but it's the cases.
The segue.
So here, let me just tell you really quick. Yeah, it was a segue, and it didn't land very well. One of my clients last week, and this actually is really sad, but one of my clients last week had told me that that at their hospital, they've converted their gift shop into a morgue because they're out of room. And that shit scares the crap out of me, news. Right? It's not fake news. He actually works there and it happens. Like he told me.
Why would they? No.
Do you want me to have him send you pictures?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop it, you guys. It's horrible.
I don't want the dead bodies, but I'd like to see.
That
just doesn't seem...
That doesn't say sanitary, actually.
What's happening is California is running out of beds. And so people from California are coming to Vegas.
And they're bringing their bodies?
Well, they end up being the bodies.
They're
not all Californians.
They don't need a gift shop anymore because you can't go in and visit your people. So
they made it an ice box.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I thought that was that was crazy.
But
this is a very sensitive subject, I can tell. So we can move on from it. But
there is, you guys did talk about the vaccinations and how that's supposed to be helping the housing industry. And I think, like, I've talked to a lot of family members who are also in the industry, and it's an important thing for them to get vaccinated. Is that the right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was totally against it. I've never been vaccinated ever in my life.
Yes, you have. When you were a kid.
You had to have.
Measles?
Yeah, you weren't
allowed.
No,
I got chickenpox. I got.
You weren't allowed to go to school without this stuff.
Some basic ones.
Okay, perfect. So that explains everything else. But once I became an adult,
once you could make your own decisions and had a choice,
I did not, and
You
don't
get the flu vaccine, or
I do not. No, I do not. But I think I actually would. If I don't get COVID first, I will definitely look to get.
But even if you get COVID, like, you can still go get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the idea. But my parents are going to go get it. I talked to them last night, and so we have a lot of family members that are in the medical industry, and so they're starting. So they're going to go get the vaccine. My brother, I talked to him last night. He's going to go get it. I haven't signed up for it. I have the list, so who knows? That might change.
I did.
Yeah.
You signed up?
I did. Just because I feel, I'd love for us to get to normalcy, and if that really helps us to get there, then I'm all for it. Just like I'm all for wearing the mask if it helps us to get to some form of sanity faster, just because I want to be able to have a regular...
Back to life.
Yeah, again.
I get it.
Yep.
I get it, yeah. Are you going to get it?
Me? I don't know. At this point, I
haven't done
COVID.
enough research either yet.
I had COVID, so I mean, at this point, I'm not even probably in one of those categories that would even qualify to get it. So I'm not worried about it. Would I be opposed to it? No, I'm not one that's going to go, I'm not going to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
A lot of it just kind of depends on how things develop.
Yeah.
I had when I had COVID, it wasn't horrible for me. Luckily, I wouldn't want it again. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. We'd have to see. But I heard Johnson & Johnson's is getting close to coming out towards the end of the month. It's a one shot, and
instead of the 2.
Yeah, and they basically, I think they said it's almost like 100%. The 500 people or whatever that they tested have not caught it, but we'll see. I think there'll be a lot more options.
The vaccines matter now. There's different vaccines.
There's 2 out on the market right now.
Moderna and something.
Pfizer.
Pfizer? Is it Pfizer? Okay.
Yeah.
The biggest one.
Yeah.
in the world, right? It's
yeah.
Pfizer. And so then there'll be Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting when didn't they say like they're turning some of these big stadiums into like vaccination areas where they're
Disneyland opened.
Yeah.
Just to do that.
That's crazy.
Not for the rides.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you go on a ride if you get
Nope.
So the other thing is though, so I was watching something about
enjoy the Dumbo ride
because people have been talking about how they're worried that it's, the vaccine came out so quick because most vaccinations take years, right? And it takes time. But the difference between most other vaccinations and this one is that we actually had enough people that got COVID so fast that they were able to test the vaccination on anywhere from 30 to 40,000 people per company, which is in a quick amount of time.
So they could see it.
So they could see the effects of it. Whereas in other vaccinations, not as many people were getting it as quickly. And so it would take years to test it on all these people, right? To get 30 or 40,000 people that got whatever they were trying to get a vaccination for would take years.
Right. And I'm not a medical
I'm
doctor
not either,
or anything
right?
else, and I do.
So we're not financial advisors.
So can you just put that at the bottom of our YouTube channel? Just
He's trying hard to figure out what our
we're not doctors, accountants, attorneys, or any of those other things.
Just realtors and a lender.
But the thing that
two realtors and a lender. That's our new show. Sorry,
there's the title.
There's a title.
Keep in mind though that it's not new technology. I mean, as they develop vaccines and stuff, and in that, I think it should get easier and easier for some of these vaccines for viruses too. So, I mean, it's not like they just threw up a concoction in the kitchen and said, stick that in your arm and let's go.
Yeah, it's not like it's Clorox.
Cayenne pepper.
Well, and here's the other thing is that you have some of the brightest minds in the world working on this, right? It's not that it only affected one place or one country or one state, right? It's the entire world has gotten involved, and the brightest minds in
the funds and the resources.
Are all to it.
Yeah, that's crazy. So and talking about funds and resources.
You need a
How you doing over there with your rental property, Shelley?
Oh, what are you talking about? The other Biden, the moratorium? Is that what we're talking about?
No, I'm letting you.
You're letting me
talk about
tee
it.
that up. Oh man,
segue into that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that if you don't mind, because the last few shows I haven't been able to
get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, that as well.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, but this meme is crazy. So
there's no show without a meme.
Thank you, by the way, Jim Navarro, who is listening to us.
Jim, post it up, Jim.
Yeah,
we'd all like to share in it.
Probably.
And our viewers, our 3 viewers, would love to see what the meme is.
He is more than 3. Okay.
Oh, 4.
I'll show it to you
Jim,
later,
thank you so much for supporting our show and watching it and listening. We appreciate you.
And we appreciate
talk about your eviction moratorium.
Oh, so true story now, I guess. So I heard that's getting extended through September. Is that right?
Oh, look at you paying attention to the eviction moratorium. Isn't that cute?
I have to now because I think I'm going to be
affected by it.
Affected by it. I got the eviction moratorium emailed to me last night by my tenant.
No. You didn't get the eviction moratorium.
No. I got
the declaration.
Yes.
Okay, now I have a question for you. Was it the CDC one or the Nevada one?
It's the CDC.
Because they're different.
I think it's CDC.
Okay, so the CDC one has more restrictions on it. They have to declare more things than the Nevada one does.
Okay.
Right? It's a full page versus the Nevada one is like a half pager.
And actually, I haven't received it yet. She just, my tenant has now told me that she has to file. She is going to be sending us the
CHAPS application.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
What does that mean?
What's really
I thought CHAPS was to help me out.
No,
because it chaps my butt right now. Really,
it
chaps your hide.
It is to help you out because it's to give you some relief because your tenant isn't paying.
Oh, so it's not to help her out.
It's a
to
combo.
help her out too because they're helping her with the rent to help you because now you get the rent.
Oh, they'll pay it to me like a
in theory.
Section 8 type
in
thing.
Theory, yeah.
Okay.
So CHAPS has 2 options, one for tenants and one for landlords. What's funny and not funny, but also interesting, but really interesting, is that the CHAPS for the landlords was like a 15-day application, but the CHAPS for the tenants, well, that's been since March. Right? They've had an opportunity to file for assistance for almost a year now, whereas the landlords only had a very small window of opportunity. So those who knew about it, who had a property manager who knew about it or, heard about it some way, somehow were, I had a couple of landlords that, I called and I said, you need to apply for this right away. And they did. But they only have, for the landlord side, they only have 2 people working on these applications. And so it's going to take months for them to get through all of whatever the applications they got in those 15 days. Now for the tenants, there was, I mean, originally like 50 million and then there's more and blah, blah, blah. So the CDC declaration or the CDC eviction moratorium got extended until the end of January.
Okay.
We don't have any information about the extension until September-ish, right? Which would be horrific if we don't, I mean, I feel like enough, right? The Nevada one eviction moratorium is till the end of March.
Okay.
So depending on which one it is, one of them is stricter than the other. And depending on what it is that your tenant and let me just also back this up with most of these apply for non-payment of rent. Okay. So if your tenant has a breach of contract, for instance, let's say
for putting a Christmas tree up and leaving it up all year round, would that be a breach?
If it's in the contract that they can't. So if in the lease agreement you put under additional terms, Christmas tree must be taken down, which by the way, I don't think you can do because it is a fair housing violation. Because
you can't tell them how to decorate their house.
Because maybe that's their faith. Maybe that's.
What if
I would make that argument,
I don't
but
think that's
liability.
protected anymore. I'm just kidding.
Bah humbug.
But here's the thing. I mean, you might want.
He hates Christmas anyway.
I'm actually going to knock on your door. Do you want to sell that unit?
But you can't sell it though, right?
Well, let me ask you. How long's? You don't have to tell me exactly, but is she in a long-term lease?
She's month to month now.
So yeah,
sorry, we had this conversation yesterday.
Then you can give her notice.
You can give her notice for no
based on
cause.
the rent,
However,
right, property back.
Right. But she can still submit an eviction moratorium declaration, and now you have to get in front of the judge, and the judge may honor that, depending on which one she does. So if it's the CDC one or the Nevada one, and because it's brand new, we're still working out the kinks.
So here's my only thing, right? I mean, like. The hard part for me is this. She's been our tenant since 2000 and for a long time, 7 years. And this is the very first time she's ever been late. It's one of those like, what do you do? But it's still a shell shock to me. Like, holy crap, it's happened. Because this whole time, to your point, I've been like, I give my rent every single first of the month. So. Did you guys not get that joke?
I got it. Yeah.
Jeez. You guys don't watch like Friday?
We got it. We got it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
many times
Friday. There's
a
lot of different things that are going in our head, because she's you just worry about the tenant themselves. You worry about their family. I understand our side as well, and being in that position. And then the biggest fear is, so if this gets really hostile, like really what opportunities do we have if it happens to go sideways and we do really need to get her out? Because there's no way we'd want to sell that house. That house is, that's
because you don't sell houses. You live in them.
We
for
live
15
in them
years.
and keep them forever and ever
until they die.
That's right.
Question for you is: if she doesn't pay rent, does that put a financial hardship on you?
It would. It will at some point. Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
So I mean,
over time.
If she's been a good tenant and she truly has lost her job or something like that, and there's a way you can work through that, and maybe at the end of it work out some kind of a payment plan to get that back, you're in a position to do that, then that might be a good thing. I truly believe there are people that need it, but I also believe there are a lot of people that are taking advantage of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so I think you'd have to evaluate that.
But if I did decide to do that, so on a month to month, I can ultimately give her a 30-day notice, right?
And no cause.
And then begin the procedures. But it would require, either way, it's going to take time, whether she just, can money up or not, right? Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad we had our one-on-one.
Yeah.
But we're not attorneys.
We're just two realtors and a lender.
We are not doctors. We are not, we are just
two
you
take that for what it was worth.
Well, I'll definitely let you know what that looks like, because actually Rich is looking into what it is going to be like for us to file that CHAPS application or whatever that may be.
It's not available for landlords anymore.
Oh, I think you said it was.
No.
Oh, through December.
December 31st is when it ended.
Well, I'm sure that has to get extended, right? Because every other thing has been extended in this pandemic.
The tenants, but the tenant can make application.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like there have been some tenants that haven't at all applied, and so that's the frustrating part, is that there was finally relief for the landlords, and so I was hoping that the landlord one was going to be around for a little bit longer.
How do we push that out?
And you just got bad timing.
Story of my life.
Right.
Just kidding.
Well, and it
year's already been a little.
It might be okay because you started. Yeah, so it was March. Oh, hold on. Eligibility. Application debt. I'm looking at it and that's not on there. There's no deadline. There is a deadline, but I don't know when it is. Sorry.
Chris says the bigger problem is if you could end up with a new tenant with
the same problem. Yeah.
So you're telling me to sell that home because I've had that home for 20 years.
No, nobody's saying to.
He's not saying that. I think it really comes down to if you can work with them.
Yeah, it could end up being the same.
At least you know what you have, and you had someone that's been loyal. Otherwise, she moves, you put somebody else in, problem. It could be worse.
Yeah, it's true.
True. Shelly, I don't see an actual deadline, but I could have sworn it was the end of the year.
I feel like you did say the end of the year.
It was the end of the year, but I heard it was going to be extended. But again, I don't know anything.
I haven't seen anything, and I'm looking on their website, and so their website's a little bit dated because it doesn't have anything since then. So I'm not sure.
So stay with us on this journey as I go through the this process live.
Yeah. And I would ask Blanchard, but yeah, he doesn't know.
I'd ask Chris too, but if I don't know, he won't know.
He's listening.
Oh, I know. But the reason I'm saying that he won't know, well, if you need to sell, happy to help. Thanks, Chris. The reason I say that he would know, I'm actually on that property management pack that he put me on, that he voluntold me for last year. Yeah. And
he says you're welcome.
And so we're waiting. Yeah. He's told me that a million times. And so because of that, we are starting to gear up again to have a meeting because I feel like there's a little bit of confusion around how the CDC declaration and the Nevada declaration work, and how, because I'm looking at websites from legal aid, I'm looking on websites from the county, and it looks like there's a difference. Like they're saying that you can't provide no cause eviction notices anymore on some of the websites, and then on others you can. I mean, usually I just send it to our person and say, hey, go ahead and do the no cause. And she tells me you can't do that right now, or you can, right?
And so
who's your person?
They are attorneys. Southern Nevada Evictions.
Okay. Cool.
Is who we use. And they've been great to really, and watching that process. But yes, they are attorneys. And so it's easier for us to go through them. I mean, I just recently had an issue with a tenant, and that tenant is fighting me to tooth and nail. And the landlord has told me, like, look, I want them out of the house because they've done all of these things to the home, and they've, blah, blah, blah. So we're going through the process.
Yeah, and that's not a rent issue necessarily.
It's it started with non-payment of rent, but then that non-payment of rent now also went into breach of contract for non-payment of utilities, non-payment of, right? And so other things, but it's not non-payment of rent.
Kind of like the old days
and
the foreclosure.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they took it out on the house.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be that literally would be the big, that would really crush. Yeah, that would probably be more heart-staking to know, just because that, like for my husband, I think that the house is getting thrashed more so than the Christmas tree being up there. But just because it's, that was like our, there's always those memories that you're going to have in those. That legitimately would be probably more heart-staking than the fact that she's not paying her rent.
Yeah, but that also is a crime. So again, not an attorney.
True.
Just two realtors and a lender, but it is a crime if somebody trashes your house, right? And so back in the days, the foreclosure days, that was some of the things that people were going after the homeowners for, like the mortgage companies. They were going after them for, what was it called?
The cement in the pipes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that. Cement and pipes and trashing the stairs and taking a sledgehammer to it. What is it called?
Ripping out all the appliances.
What is it called?
Vandalism.
Thank you. How could I forget that? It's got like the first four letters of my name.
Vandalism.
First five letters of my name.
That explains a lot.
Vandalism Vandana. That's going to be my new, oh my God, Garbage Pail Kid name. Vandalism Vandana. Okay. So do you guys remember
still
Garbage
have
Pails?
those?
No, but I remember it.
No, I stayed on the Cabbage Patch side, the ones that are cute and fluffy.
So you never had a Garbage Pail Kid name?
No.
I mean, mine wasn't Vandalism Vandana until today.
The Garbage Pail Kid
cards.
Mm-hmm. I did too, but where is what was your name?
I didn't have one.
We're going to have to come up with ones for you guys. Tune in next week to hear our Garbage Pail Kids
What
names.
would you name us?
Yes. So go ahead and put it in the chat what you think Brandon's Garbage Pail name should be, and what Shelly's Garbage Pail Kid name should be. That was a lot of words. It took me a little bit. And mine has been Vandalism Vandana, but if you have something better, I'm totally open to changing it.
We're out of time.
We are out of time.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this show
Where's our
up.
guy? Is he going to turn us off?
We got it. You just have to wrap up the show.
I'm going to wrap up the show. Okay. So we're here, Real Estate Exposed. Thanks so much for listening in. If you are and you're watching us, you're doing so on facebook.com/realestatex. Don't forget, we are also on any place that you have podcasts, as well as on YouTube.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Pound that notification button.
Did I steal your